The proposed ban will address plastic checkout bags, straws, stir sticks, six-pack rings, cutlery, and foodware made from hard-to-recycle plastics, particularly expanded polystyrene. Regulations with respect to this ban will be finalized by the end of 2021.
When the pandemic hit, I think the world realized the so-called bad guy might actually be the hero we all need. You see, the world realized overnight that single-use plastics, well, they kind of save lives. Plastic manufacturers ramped up production to help make disposable personal protective equipment. For medical and personal use, they ramped up production of plastic bags. As grocery stores realized finally that handling other people's often dirty, reusable grocery bags might be a point of coronavirus transmission. Municipalities even canceled their own bans on plastic bags, something that had been a bit of a fad sweeping across the Western world lately. Plastic takeout containers and cutlery production was increased as restaurants moved towards takeout service just to keep their doors open and survive the lockdown. In fact, the agri-food analytics lab at Dalhousie University studied the effects of the pandemic on plastic use and found this. 29% of study respondents feel they are buying more plastic packaged goods during COVID. Women are more likely than men to buy more plastics at 34% versus 25%. Young people are particularly buying more, with 47% of 18 to 25-year-olds and 34% of 26 to 39-year-olds reporting more plastic packaging consumption. Also, knowing environmental packaging could cost more, 50% of respondents are more price conscious since COVID, particularly those with lower incomes and those receiving CERB. Food safety concerns seem to be a determinant. As such, 55% of respondents are more concerned about food safety since COVID, particularly female, urban, and respondents in BC and the Atlantic. Those are Trudeau voters, by the way. Female, urban, people from BC and the Atlantic, that's the Liberal base. Now, when the virus struck, plastics were there to make us safer. It's a fact. We all know this. And yet, even now, the Liberals are proceeding with their ban on single-use plastics. Environment Minister Jonathan Wilkinson reiterated the Liberals' plan in an announcement Wednesday morning. Here, just take a look.
Today, I am very pleased to announce our government's approach to achieve zero plastic waste in Canada by 2030, a plan to keep plastic in our economy and out of our environment. This is a comprehensive approach that looks directly to address the most harmful single-use plastics while improving the way that we manage other plastics throughout their life cycle. Today, we are releasing a discussion paper relating to the government's plan to address plastic pollution. One important part of this plan is a ban on harmful single-use plastics that have three key characteristics. They are harmful in the environment, they are difficult or costly to recycle, and there are readily available alternatives. The proposed ban will address plastic checkout bags, straws, stir sticks, six-pack rings, cutlery, and foodware made from hard-to-recycle plastics, particularly expanded polystyrene. Regulations with respect to this ban will be finalized by the end of 2021. When a ban comes into effect, your local stores will be providing you with alternatives to these plastic products, like reusable or plastic bags, or paper bags in place of plastic.
The Liberals are still going to list single-use plastics as a Schedule I toxin like lead, CFCs, and mercury. The plastic intubation tubing saving people's lives in hospitals right now, just as bad as asbestos, if you ask Justin Trudeau and his ridiculous Environment Minister, Jonathan Wilkinson. What's this all going to do to the plastics industry, that industry that stepped up to help us, and the well-paying jobs that that industry creates? Look at this in Blacklock's reporter from back in June. Thousands of recession-era jobs are riding on whether Cabinet bans single-use plastics, an industry lobbyist told the Commons Industry Committee. Regulations are expected in 2021. Isabelle Deschênes, Executive Vice President of the Chemistry Industry Association of Canada, told the House of Commons Industry Committee that, quote, plastics are not toxic. If they are in the environment, they don't belong there. That's what the issue is. And she also said that the plastics industry supports thousands of jobs here in Canada. Plastic sales are worth $35 billion a year in Canada by official estimates. The Liberals are willing to kill thousands of jobs and a substantial portion of that $35 billion in economic activity in the middle of the worst economic depression in recent memory. And for what? What difference will the single-use plastics ban actually make on plastics pollution? Look at this, also from Blacklock's. Canada accounts for about 0.1% of ocean plastic pollution worldwide, a federal report said yesterday. Cabinet has said it will ban single-use plastic bags and straws in 2021. Canadian shores are not a major global source of marine plastic litter, said the newly released 2019 report by the Library of Parliament entitled Global Marine Plastic Pollution, Sources, Solutions, and Canada's Role. However, Canada exports plastic waste for recycling to developing countries as it may not be economical to sort and process it domestically. Global ocean plastic litter is estimated at 4.8 million tons to 12.7 million tons annually. Canadian sources account for 29,000 tons, wrote the analysts. Another 100,000 tons on average are exported to Asian recyclers, typically in China and Malaysia. So just like with global carbon emissions, Canada is a non-factor in the global plastics garbage problem too. So this attack on jobs, industry, convenience, and sanitation is just more shameless liberal virtue signaling, another liberal bandwagon to jump on. If we really think about it, though, the plastics ban is just another front in the liberal attack on the oil industry. The Liberals have attacked oil directly, blocking pipelines, adding extra regulations, and taxing the emissions. Upstream oil and gas are being euthanized by the Liberals. Now the Liberals are moving downstream and ticking off the fruits of the oil industry labors on their little banned things checklist. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't like garbage either. I'm pro-incineration, turning that heat energy created by burning plastic into electricity. And I'm pro-recycling only when it makes financial sense, and it often doesn't. It's vital that the plastics industry survives so that we can survive too. Because what happens when there is no plastics industry left to step up in the event of another global catastrophe? For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. The mainstream media, I predict, is going to be about 99 to 100% in favor of a single-use plastics ban. They won't consider the jobs and the economic impact, the convenience and sanitation that stand to be eliminated by the Liberals' ban on single-use plastics. If you want to help us keep telling that other side of the story, be sure to like and share this video. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you ring the little bell so that you never miss a story. And if you'd like to help us further, do consider becoming a subscriber to Rebel News Plus. That's what we call our long-form TV-style shows here on Rebel News. Just go to rebelnews.com/subscribe to join today.